Hello, you are receiving a collect call from...
Hey, Agnes.
What?
Hey, girl, you know, I've been listening to you. I think you got a sweet-ass, sultry-ass voice, and I'd like to offer you a little something.
You like the sound of my sultry voice?
Yeah, girl, you know we do. You want Artie's job? We're tired of him right now.
Yes. I would be interested in taking Artie's job while he's in prison. Yes, I would very much like to introduce your radio podcast. We are big fans here at JLMSP in Springfield, Ohio, home of the AIDS. Send me the script and I will call back. Hello, you are receiving a collect call from Agnes at Johnny Little Minimum Security Prison here in Springfield, Ohio, home of the AIDS. To accept these charges, say yes now.
Why?
You must say yes or I will get fired. To accept these charges, please say yes now.
Yeah.
Or I will murder your mother.
What? Yes.
Thank you for accepting these charges. I will use the money to buy nipple pasties. Connecting you to me now. Hello.
Okay.
My name is Agnes. Welcome to
MOATAIF!
here in Springfield, Ohio, home of the AIDS. I want you to know that I am 49 years old with dimples in my ass cheeks. My husband alimony left me when I wanted to adopt his son, Bilo. Now, I live alone in Marona's apartments between a drug dealing and a gay prostitute. My only joy comes from working at JLMSP here in Springfield, Ohio, home of the AIDS. Without further ado, welcome Zach Roberts and R.J. Quillen.
Well, thank you, Agnes.
That was interesting. Why the fuck did that just happen?
I don't know. Why did we,
It was very weird, I'll admit that.
Yeah. It was weird.
Springfield, Ohio.
Home of the AIDS. We can't make fun of her, though, because...
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Yeah, she was nice.
I feel bad for her. She kind of reminds me of Mark Hartley.
Yeah, oh, Mark Hartley definitely has...
49-year-old.
Definitely has dimples in her ass.
Dimples in the ass.
Well, Mark Hartley is definitely older
Moon
than
craters.
that. Yeah, Mark Hartley's definitely older than that.
But Mark Hartley taught us everything we know about personal finance, and I ignored it.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish I hadn't.
I know. I wish I'd
I got a
saved
credit card.
$20 a week.
I get a credit card, and I wish I didn't get a credit card.
Did she tell you guys to save $20 a week?
Yeah, something like that.
She taught us to save money.
Something like that. And
That's
that
like
it would,
$80 a month.
it would grow to like $1 million by the time we were 30.
Yep.
And we didn't do it.
Yeah,
That's like the easiest advice.
Are you
Like,
serious?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was. We never listened to Mark Hartley. She would sit down and just show us Dave Ramsey things, and we thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Welcome back to MOATAIF. I feel like it's been forever since we've done an episode.
It has been.
It probably hasn't.
It's only been like a week.
I think it's just been a week, but it seems like forever because we didn't do anything in between. I think that's why.
Oh.
And because we didn't do like records on time, we didn't do.
We're behind.
On time. We're behind on the videos, but we've had some good videos come out recently that I forgot about. Yeah,
Skinny Zach and Jordan watch.
Yeah, it's been one Zach. Well, that's not one of them, but that's all right. That was just from the vault.
I see that.
I found that. Yeah, it's in a vault. You like that?
Why does Where Are They Now have 44 views?
I know it's random.
Okay. Okay.
And it's tied with Cathartic Destruction. Great video.
That's
Oh,
great.
Whitney watched the whole entire Where Are They Now video and she said it's fucking hilarious.
Did she really?
Yeah. She said she got bored, wanted to see it because I told her about how we were posting and how we never had the footage and she literally watched the whole thing.
I'm scared by that. That's
Okay.
weird.
Yeah, that is kind of.
I'm glad
What
though.
you want?
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. It's just so random.
We never expected anyone to watch it.
Yeah,
not even
Nicholas. When
Why?
Hannah,
It's
Nicholas,
funny.
and RJ, or Hannah, Nicholas, and Bree watched it beginning to end,
What?
and I didn't expect any
Why
of them
wouldn't
to.
We? We're
Well, I don't
in
know.
it.
I don't know.
I
'Cause
figured
it was
you'd
an
just go to
hour
where
long.
you were.
Yeah,
No, it was
and
funny.
Hannah's not in it at all,
Oh, that's
and
true.
she watched the whole thing.
Like what I said, what are we gonna do with the dead bitch in that video?
Yeah, it's so random. But I'm glad it's like caught on. We've had some like good videos recently.
Yeah.
Actually, this month has been the highest viewed month in the last 14.
Because we discovered that if we share videos on Facebook,
Which we used to do.
yeah, we'll get more views, and we like.
Well, and when my mom reposted that one,
Yeah.
fucking went nuts. All her friends want us to do it. Like, people at work are literally coming up to her saying, when are they going to do another one? Like, so we have to.
Yeah, we have to now. Great. Okay, so we just did our Christmas friend gift exchange. That was exciting.
That was fun.
Nicholas got me... Nicholas awarded me for my musical One Bugging Beep 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 Beep, which was exciting and nice. And Hannah got me a Bill Murray throw pillow, and he's dressed as like an army general. And RJ,
so fucking random.
And RJ gave me Obama buttons from 2012 that I wanted, and I immediately put them on my Christmas tree, as you can see in every video that we've ever done since I put up the Christmas tree. What did you get, RJ?
Let's start with Zachary Allen Roberts got me Tension by Die Antwoord on vinyl.
Yes.
And then Hannah got me a mug that says VHS and chill.
Which is so random.
Fucking
like,
random and hilarious.
But
Like,
it's like cool.
Yeah,
I'm like, so
cool.
I'm gonna go
and
home
it looks nice. It looks a lot nicer than like what I expected.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and put coffee in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, not really, but like in the morning.
Yeah.
And then Nicholas Royal Benton got me a keychain of Spirited
Yeah,
Away. It's fucking nice, like, because I needed keychain shit.
Did you?
Yeah, because like I lost my, like everything fell off my keyring.
Yeah, when we were at Hot Topic looking for stuff, I was like, we were looking at all the things, and I was like, well, I know he likes Spirited Away, because they had like a whole Miyazaki,
Ooh.
Or not, well, it was Miyazaki, but it was,
like Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli stuff, and it was like, he was gonna get like a throw blanket, but I was like, maybe not. But it was like a throw blanket, and it just had like the creepy motherfucker on it. Or then they had, they had a stuffed creepy motherfucker. I don't know what they're called.
I think it's No Face.
Yeah, they had like a stuffed No Face that was like probably like no bigger than like that, like an aspirin can, like a bottle of aspirin.
Stuffed?
Yeah, it was like a plush.
That's neat.
And it was $17.
Jeebus.
Yeah, like not worth that. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it's not. Obviously, like I got you. Your gift was like it was like $20 or so.
It is No Face.
Yeah, and so like I'm not saying that you're not worth $17, but that gift is not worth $17.
Plush. Yeah, those things are expensive because they're like, what's the word I'm looking for? They have like copyrights and shit.
Yeah, and
they're
like,
popular as fuck.
Yeah.
So
people still buy them.
Yeah,
I wanted their. They have like Inside Out. The Pixar movie Inside Out. They have like all their characters in plush.
Holy shit.
I want them, but I'm not gonna pay like $17, $18 for it. I'm not going to. Yeah, I would pay like $17 for like the whole set.
Yeah,
and I mean, maybe I'm just not dedicated enough.
Isn't it crazy how things used to be less expensive than they are now? How do economics work? This like entire episode is about economics so far.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be.
There's only 12 days till Christmas.
What?
You're gonna hear Brianna Nichol Ragan in the background.
Oh,
she
sorry.
is not the special guest, but she's here, and she's special. Ed.
Ass.
I'm just kidding. So, what else is there to talk about? You have a story about Catholic Mass.
Yeah, it's not a very good story.
Yeah, well, let's first mention atheist.
Yeah.
You're an atheist.
Strong atheist.
Well, we both are.
Yeah, so somehow I got, I don't know how to tell the story. Like, I just went to Catholic Mass.
But how? I don't understand.
I just went with Stephanie to Catholic Mass.
Like,
then
that's what happened then.
Yeah, she was just like, I have to go to Catholic Mass. I'm like, I'm going to Catholic Mass.
Yeah.
And it just happened. Like, I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I went there and I didn't know how to do anything.
Right. The rosary and all that.
Yeah, and there's so much instructions, like, you gotta do.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there bored, like, I'm tired. And, it was a good little sermon. Is that what they call it, a sermon?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the Catholics call it, but
it was a good little sermon, He talked about how you shouldn't be greedy, and how you should, the tax collectors shouldn't take more than they need.
So he's a Republican?
Yeah.
Oh, well, for sure.
Yeah, and, it was interesting, and, yeah, that's literally it, like, it just happened.
Well, before you were explaining, it's like, it just happened, like, it
because
happened.
it just, like, after it happened, I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, why did I just go to Catholic Mass? And, like, that's the opinion I've had on it ever since.
I went to Catholic Mass in Chicago, with Josie and Zach. Josie is Catholic. I'm pretty sure Zach was at least agnostic, and they both knew I was like...
What's agnostic again?
It means you don't know if
It's
God
like
exists.
pussy atheist.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. It's like, they're like, I don't know.
Instead of saying, like, I don't believe, they just say, I don't know.
There could be a God. There could not be. That's agnostic. And they're
But, like,
pussies.
atheists can think that, too.
Well, yeah.
It's annoying.
And so anyway, somehow, or we were gonna go see a show that I was able to get free tickets to because I went to Columbia, and we're gonna go see that afterwards. And Mass was, I guess, early enough that Josie wanted to go because she was like feeling like a heathen, which she is. She's a horrible, horrible person who is definitely going to hell. Like, if it exists, like, she will go there. So, like, I don't know why she went to Mass, because
she can just
she's
repent,
a horrible,
like what they
she's a
keep
horrible,
Bloody
horrible
Marys.
person. And so we go to Mass, and you had mentioned how the singing was terrible.
It was awful.
The guy that sang... We went to, like, the big church, like, in Chicago. Like, it's a famous church, and don't know what it's called, because I'm not in... I don't care, but, like, it was, like, some famous church, and that's why we were going. And... she, like, anointed herself with, like, holy water or whatever when they walk in.
Mm-hmm.
And, the guy was singing. It was terrible. There was, like, a choir, which they were good.
I wish the singing would have been, like, in the original Latin. I wish they wouldn't have
Yeah.
translated it to, like, this ugly, like, nothing, like, rhymed, nothing, like, went together at all. It was just, like, may the Lord be with us, praise he be.
Yeah. And then when the priest came out, he was talking about how, like, he went to, it was when Gravity had come out, the movie Gravity, and he ruined the whole plot of Gravity.
Oh.
Yeah, before you even needed to see it. I mean, not really, like, it wasn't really, like, spoiler alert, but it was, like, how he was, she's like, yeah, he was talking about how they were up in space, like, doing a mission or whatever, and, like, George Clooney dies, and Sandra Bullock has to get back to Earth, essentially, but he did it in more detail than that. I don't know what the point was. I don't remember. It tied in really well. Like, I was like, I think I believe in God now.
Really? Because after my sermon, I was just like, no, like, that didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, not really, but it was, like, an interesting, like, he was able to tie it into, like, what he was talking about really well. And I don't remember how or what it was, but I remember it happened. I remember being like, yeah, that was neat. But the thing that made me mad is that people were, like, taking pictures with the priest afterwards, like selfies, essentially. And I was like, oh, well, I'm doing that. And Josie would not let me because she thought it was disrespectful since I'm an atheist. I was like, but he's like I wasn't gonna like post it like die robe fag. Like, I wasn't gonna say anything like rude. I wasn't gonna say anything rude. I was gonna be like, hey, like, yeah, this motherfucker. I was probably gonna say like this guy ruined Gravity, the movie Gravity for me. But like, hashtag Selfie Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, it was never going to be anything rude, but they were just horrible, horrible people with horrible, horrible hearts and horrible, horrible brains, and they're going to horrible, horrible hell.
Yeah, I liked the robes that they had on, and there was like this little girl there, like she was the like priest's podium.
What?
Yep, she was holding the like stuff he was reading. She was just there. Like,
she's like an altar boy.
Yeah, well, she was a podium.
Yeah,
she was literally just a podium.
Yeah. Well, at least it wasn't an altar boy because rape.
Yeah, she was a little girl, though, so we don't... What the fuck are we talking about this episode?
I don't know, I was...
we thought the conversation would roll. It's not really rolling.
It's not rolling, rawhide. I guess I can tell you the story about the lady that got pissed about the box of bites. Oh. And Bree can join a little bit.
Okay.
So, at work, which... You know about the box of bites.
Yeah, it's a box of bites. How many pretzels come in?
It's about two and a half larges.
2.5 larges.
But when we run out of the box, we tell people it's only 2 larges.
So you just give them 2 larges.
We just give them 2 large cups.
I've only filled the cup 4 times. So it is only 2 larges.
Is it only 2 larges?
Yeah.
Oh, why do we keep saying 2.5 large?
I'm just used to saying...
I'm used to saying 2.5 large. I thought it was 2.5 larges.
It's might as well... Yeah, they don't even need to know.
Yeah. So I'm so used to saying 2.5 larges that I remember when we actually ran out of the boxes... I would say, yeah, it's about 2.5 larges, but we are out of the box, so we're just going to serve it in cups. And then Kirsten would be like, yeah, it's only 2 larges. Like, Kirsten had to keep saying, like, 2 larges, because I was going to serve it to them in 2 cups. Like, so they would know that there's not a half of a cup.
Yeah.
So it's a shit ton of bites. Like, it's it's like
$12.
Yeah, it's a hefty investment. It's about $12.75 is just with 2 sauces. which they're 4-ounce sauces.
Yeah, and that's like a good deal for families because that's what they usually get. But people fucking by themselves are getting these. Like,
right. And
because they're good pretzels.
but then with the combo, it comes with a large drink, 2 sauces, and the box of bites for $14.29.
God damn it.
But then, is it $14.29? Yeah, $14, $15, and $16. Yeah, $15 for a cinnamon box if you want like a seasoned box.
God.
$16 for 48 mozzarella bites. I would get that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a good
I
deal.
would get that.
I mean, because those are more expensive just in general, like the mozzarella cubes.
Well, I know
That's
they
makes
are
sense.
more expensive,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying like it goes up as as they're more premium.
Yeah.
As more premium boxes, more expensive. But for some reason they're selling like hotcakes. People love the box. I hate the box.
I hate the box.
And even the people that don't order it, they ask about it. Everybody asks about the box. More often than not, people are like, "So how much is in the box?" Or, "Can I get a box?" Or, "Can I get a small box, a medium box, a large box? Can I get a box? What's in your box? How much is the box?" Like, it's all they talk about. Even if it's not what they ordered, they want to know.
So you guys should just get a sign. 1 size box.
Yeah.
2 things.
But people are too fucking stupid. They wouldn't read it anyway.
Because people ask the prices when that's right there. in
Yeah,
front of your
people
face.
ask the cash register. You know where the cash
Yeah, I
register
know
is.
how it works.
The sign's literally right next to the cash register, right where they stand, and they ask how much the box is. And normally I just point $14.29, but then I tell them that's the combo, and then if you want it without the drink, it's $12.75. Anyway, so this we were busy. Bree and then them were working, and they called us. They called Nicholas and I in like half an hour early. And so one of the very first, I walk in and there's like a line down to fucking the next store. It's busy, completely busy, and a box.
The busiest I've literally ever worked.
Yeah.
Ever.
And,
Really? Just randomly?
Yeah. It was so random.
Well, it's not random. We found out when we got there because the mall didn't tell us. Busy because of Little Vittles, and they barely gave out any food. So then, people were coming to get food.
Did they really barely give out food?
They gave out a breakfast biscuit. It was something down it was small, but people were still shopping. They're shopping just because it's Christmas. Then they had the Boon Shop thing, and it was a huge event that says go eat at Pretzel Maker and sponsor the mall and other things because they came and asked if we would donate food, and they told people, but we only gave them 6 larges because they do it every year, I guess.
Yeah.
And so then they're told to come meet there. So then, as well as the mall had another thing with Santa and face painting, and then another event that was some type of contest thing. So they literally just didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Fuck the fucking mall managers.
Yeah, we made $2,700.
Jeebus.
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah. God.
Which is insane for us. Even on a good day.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I
$2,700.
mean, that's goal. Our
Well,
goal
yeah,
is
it was
next
our
couple
it was
weeks
our
away,
it was
yeah.
our goal, but it seemed unlikely when I walked in, but we beat goal, which was surprising. Anyway, so one of the first orders that I took was this, seemingly nice old lady. She asked about the box, how much it was. Well, she's not really that old. She's 50 or 60, yeah. So not like 80, which is what I think of when I'm thinking of a little old lady. She asked what the box was, how much was in it, and then she said, "Okay, I'll take a box of the cinnamon bites."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, it comes with 2 sauces. Do you want the icing for each, or do you want to try the caramel with it, or whatever?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, I'll just take the 2 sauces," and I'll be like, "Okay, we'll have it right out for you," because I didn't know that it was gonna be. When I walked in, no one had said 15 minutes on a box.
You
yet.
told her 15 minutes, though.
No, I didn't.
I thought you told her 15 minutes.
No, I didn't tell her 15 minutes.
Well, either way, she had to wait well over 15
Yeah.
minutes. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I didn't tell her 15 minutes, and I told the people, I was like, got a box of cinnamon bites, and then the next person that ordered a box, we told 15 minutes. So the next person, literally the next person in line gets a salted box, so we said 15 minutes. And I thought that was because we were waiting on the cinnamon box. So when the next set of bites came out of the oven, no one made the box, because they thought they were both waiting 15 minutes. So no one made the cinnamon box right away.
Mm.
And we had a tray full in the warmer, so we're serving people as they come. We're getting through the line pretty fast.
So the lady was kind of wronged.
We'll explain. So there's we get there's 6 people back there working, so we get through the line pretty fast. So then, like, her son, or whoever it is, like, pokes his head in, and he's like, hey, how much longer on our box? I was like, did you already order it? And she's like, yeah, it's a cinnamon box. I was like, okay, yeah, it should be out any minute. They're coming out of the oven right now. It should just be about 2 minutes. Or we had just put them in the oven. So I was like, it'll be about, like 2 to 3 minutes. So, they cook 2 minutes, and we just gotta flavor them, and then we'll have it out for you. He's like, okay. So I'm serving more people, and they're just staring at me. Like, death glares, staring at me, like, what are you doing? And the line's gone, the line's died down almost completely, and I go in the back because I'm like, they won't stop staring at me, like, it was making me uncomfortable, not like, oh, they're gonna hurt me, but just like, it was weird.
They were like, we all felt them staring, like,
yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. Because it was like 6 people, their group was like, the wife, the lady who ordered it, her son or whatever, his wife, and then there's like 4 or 5 people. Yeah, there were like 4 or 5 people waiting there. And they were all just staring at us, like, and talking. And being like, what the fuck's going on? Like, what's taking so long? So I walk back out, and the lady's like, is our box about done? I was like, yes, they're flavoring it right now. We're going to have it right out for you. Sorry about your wait. And there's people in line now. So I turn to them and try to start taking their order, and she's like, well, you really should have told us that it would be a wait. And I was like, yeah, it was the first order that I took. I didn't know that they...
When I just came in.
Yeah, I was like, I just walked in the door. I had literally just walked in the door, clocked in, and started taking orders. I said, so I didn't know that they had put a hold on the box, but normally...
Oh, why I thought you told her it was a wait, I remember now, is because I had shouted out to the line. I literally said it at least 3 times while she was on the line. Like, you literally came in, like, right before I said right in front of her, all boxes are going to be a 15-minute wait, so she knew.
Yeah. So she's like, well, you should have told us that. And I was like, yeah, I know. I said I just walked in. I'd literally just walked in. You were the first order I took. I didn't know that they had put a hold on the boxes. So it's my fault. We'll have it right out for you.
Yeah.
Well, you should have told us. I was like, I know. I said it's my fault. Normally, it's only about 2 to 5 minutes on a box because it's usually we put 2 trays in to give them fresh for the box, because usually there's not enough in the tray for the box. She's like, well, was there enough in the tray for the box? I was like, yeah, but we had a line full of people.
And that's
just, so we were gonna, so it was just protocol. We've put in trays for the box and serve the other people out of the tray.
So you basically have to explain to her why you did your job.
Yeah, and she's like, well, you should have told us that. And I was like, I know.
Like I said, I walked in.
And she's like, well, are you the manager? And I was like, no. And Bree was behind me doing something.
I was getting things, and I knew that she was. I knew,
yeah.
So I didn't want her to yell at you. So I was like, no, I'm Bree, and I am the manager,
yeah.
And it's my fault. Because I then told her, I said, it is my fault because I thought we already gave out the cinnamon box and we were just waiting on the salted one. I said, that's my fault. I'm the one who said no. We just need the cinnamon bite. And she's like, yeah, but we should have been told it was going to be wait. And I was like, that's not even the issue anymore. Like,
so why she keep saying that?
So then her husband's like...
Just being rude,
yeah, so then her husband was like, well, I'm just saying you should tell people that from now on. And then they were like... And then she... Because we were kind of starting to get a little annoyed with her, like, and you could hear it in our voice. She was like, well, she was like really nice, even though she was being like rude. She was like, well, I'm just saying, like, for future reference, like, it might be better if you tell people, when they order it. And I was like, we know, we usually do.
But I literally, that's why I was mad, is because I literally, literally a customer and her.
Yeah.
Like, you literally walked in and served her as I shouted in front of her face, it's going to be a 15-minute wait on the box, just for those of you in line, but we do have other things in the warmer.
So then we kept explaining it to her, and she's like, so is that normal? She was asking Bree, like, all the normal questions, like, is that normal that they would put trays in, or would you normally serve it out of the box? And, Bree's answering. And
I said, because that's what he just said, because you're saying it's different. I said, no, I didn't say it's different. I said that they put them in the oven fresh off of the rack, and then she's like, the rack's right there. She thought, like, the fucking warmer was the rack I was talking about. First of all, those are pretzels on there.
Yeah.
Those aren't even pretzel bites.
Yeah.
And I said, no, that's normal. He's not lying to you. Because that's what he said. Now I just want to make sure that's true.
Yeah, and so then her husband's like, well, you should have told us. I was like, and in the middle, I literally interrupted all of them because I was done at that point. Like, I was trying to take orders. They were being rude as fuck, and they weren't listening.
Yeah, like, Zach was literally taking other people's orders, and they were trying to talk to him in the middle of it.
Yeah, and so they were like, well, you should have how long is it going to be? You should have told us. I was like, we will have it right. I was like, we will have it right out to you. We're going as fast as we can. It's our fault. We understand that. We'll have it right out to you. Please stop.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you should have told us. And I'm shaking because I'm so mad.
Yeah,
I had to go in the
started
back.
getting that mad. So, like, Zach went in the back, and then Whitney, while we were talking in the back, went out and talked to them, and she said, you know, like, I'm the assistant manager of the situation. Like, she literally said everything that we said.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you know, we do apologize. This doesn't reflect, like, in our normal business. Like, she explained, like, how we didn't know that there was events in the mall. Like, it's just been a busy day. We had to call everyone in early. Like, it's in the middle of a shift change. And she's like, oh, no, I completely understand. I was, like, being super nice. She's like, tell everyone we said, you know, happy holidays, like, Merry Christmas, like, blah, blah. And when he's just like, yeah, because you knew that you were wrong. Like, you just want to be a bitch about it.
Rude ass bitch. Like, fuck your Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know that until after we left, when we got in the car to take Whitney home.
Yeah, that's... I hate people like that. Like, that whole night, I was like... it wasn't the whole night that it, like, ruined my whole night, but it ruined the first, like, hour or so, because I was pissed.
Because they were rude. Like, they were very rude.
They were being very, very rude.
People were just staring at them when they were talking. Like, everyone, I think, was just like, they said it was an accident.
Yeah.
Like, I literally said it was an accident, like, it's my fault.
It was like a miscommunication, like, we're sorry, it'll be right out,
like,
we're doing the best we can.
You can apologize.
Yeah. And, like, you know...
Whitney said, like, right before you walked in the back, Whitney was, like, literally about to say, we're just going to give your money back and not serve you.
Yeah.
Like, Whitney was done.
Yeah, because they were rude. Like, it was so rude. It was so rude. And so it brought up a bigger conversation that night, because Nicholas, Hannah, and I hung out after work, and we were talking about how older people, or, like, the older generations, are just rude.
They're rude as
fuck. Like, in person, like, to other people. In public and at restaurants and stuff like that.
They don't give
or
a
like,
fuck about anybody else but themselves.
To any person who provides a service, they're rude to them.
Oh,
yeah, and they think that we're the rude generation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't know and I was like, why, how is that? Because they raised us, and yet they're rude. Like, and I don't, like, it's like a different, like, I don't understand, like, what the generational difference is, but why is it that, like, you know, I can't remember ever complaining about, like, anything at a restaurant.
Yeah,
you know
I was
what
always, like, too shy to it. Like, I just sucked it up.
Like,
if my meal or anything's ever wrong, I'm like, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
And, like, there's been a few times where one of my friends has said, like, oh, like, she, you know, you forgot onion, like, she doesn't want onions, blah, blah, but I never say anything.
Yeah. Like, you know, if it's something like when we went to Roosters the other night, Hannah, Nicholas, and I, the night that we had the meeting at Pretzel Maker, and, you know, I was sitting there, and I had ordered a pizza and garlic bread, and she forgot to bring out the garlic bread, so she was like, is there anything else I can get for you? I was like, oh, just the garlic bread. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, she was, like, profusely apologizing. I was like, I literally don't care.
You work in food service.
Yeah.
That's no big deal.
Shut up.
I was like, no, I don't care. I was like, I don't care. And she came back out. She's like, I just forgot to put it in, so it'll be out in a couple minutes. I'm so sorry. Like, and she's like, do you want the manager? I was like, no.
I would never say that.
Yeah.
Do you want my boss to complain?
Like, do you want my manager? Because, like, I'm sure a lot of people are like, I want your manager, because then they'll have it taken off the bill or whatever. And so I was like, no, no. Like,
probably just expect people to ask for the manager, so now they're just preparing.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not. It's no big deal. And she brought it out, and I ate it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
someone else would have been like, yeah, bring your fucking...
Yeah, my garlic bread.
Yeah.
If it were ordered, like, even my own grandma, like, she would have been like, I want to speak to the manager. Like, I'm not paying for this.
Yeah.
Like,
and she would have been
That's
like...
ridiculous.
And, you know, it was a little annoying, like, while I was eating, because I wanted to have it as a side, you know, it was a little annoying. And literally by the time it got out, my pizza was gone. It was only a small. But, I mean, still, like, the pizza was gone, so I had to eat, like, the garlic bread by itself. But it was still delicious, you know? And it was a little inconvenience, but it was... I didn't care. Like, life goes on. Like, that's the thing. And I guess to everybody else, it's like an existential crisis.
Yeah, they feel like really entitled to perfect service wherever they go.
Yeah.
It's so fucking annoying.
And I don't get it. Like, people are so rude, like, when it comes to... And I, you know, even before I worked in, like, food service, I was never, like, rude to people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, mistakes happen. I literally think if someone, like, spilled a whole tray of drinks on me, I wouldn't even complain. I'd just be like, it was an accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, clearly they're not doing that on purpose. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that, I'm not gonna get, you know...
Yeah, like, they already feel bad.
Yeah, and then they're gonna, you know, if it happened to, like, my dad, or that fucking slimy-ass, like, skinny-ass piece of shit that lives in the room next door, they would complain. Yeah, they would complain. And...
Hey, Zach, I heard what you said about me.
I hate
I'm
him.
gonna kick your ass, little boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck your gay ass up. I bet you'd like that.
But you'd like that, yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well.
So, what I really don't understand. Like, I'm the more I think about it, the more I'm having like trouble understanding like what's happening, like why that's a thing.
Here's my hypothesis. Me and Dan talked about this once.
Yeah.
And he said, he told me this story. I want to repeat the story. He said when he was in college, he was hanging out with one of his buddies, and his buddy had nice bongs. He told me he had nice weed smoking machines in his room, and he had a nice stereo.
Yeah.
And he was playing records. And he's like...
Watch records Saturdays on AustinZach00.
And he's like...
You never know what's gonna turn up on a turntable.
We should make a commercial for records. No, we shouldn't.
Well, we should make a channel trailer, because we need a channel trailer.
Yeah, love to. Like, do you want to see us review records?
Okay, some nice bongs. And...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, nice bongs and nice posters. Basically, he had a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And, he was talking to Dan, and something, Dan accidentally broke something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, it's no big deal, my dad will pay for it. And then Dan said, that's my generation. Like, these people who, like, don't work at all, like, for what they have, and they feel entitled to everything.
Yeah.
He's like, that's when I realized it in the 70s. None of the other stuff was important.
Clearly.
Like that's all, like, he's a good storyteller.
So you're saying they feel entitled?
Because, I mean, like,
everything's just been given to them.
Yeah, because around the baby boomers, stuff was cheap, people were making money. There's you could buy a house for, like...
Until Obama.
Yeah, you could buy a house for, like, 25% of the price it is now.
Yeah, because Obama.
Yeah, because of Obama. But, like, even, like, adjusting inflation, it's really cheap to buy a house back then. And people just had things, and they spoiled the fuck out of their children.
Yeah.
And now they're, like, entitled bitches who think they're better than everybody else.
I think that's...
I don't know, because my grandma, like, did not, and she's still a rude-ass bitch.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing, is they're just... They think that people are lower than them, like that people who work at like fast food or any sort of service are like lower.
Because like I guess that is true, RJ. Because my grandma actually was literally talking to my mom about this the other day, because my mom was telling her that she has too much stuff. Like my grandma's basement is the size of like a whole entire like downstairs, and she's got 2 and 3 things of things she doesn't use. Like she once bought 3 or 4 sweet tea ice making machines because they were on sale.
God damn it!
But she has not touched them, and so like she has stuff. And her and my mom were arguing about it the other day, and she's like, "We work hard for what we've got. Like we deserve it." First off, my grandma's been retired for like 15 years.
Yeah.
My papa literally
Social Security.
No, she doesn't. Well, I'm not sure if she gets that, but my papa works his ass off. So actually, he works hard. But that's true. Like she thinks that they're entitled because they've worked all these years and. Blah, 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 but, like, bitch, you still have to earn things just like the rest of you. You don't need that much. Like,
yeah. And, it kind of, how people, there's, like, an understanding, I guess, or, like, a study or whatever that shows that, like, the older you get, the more conservative you vote, or the more conservative you just are in general. To me, rude and conservative are, like, the same thing in my brain.
What I think is weird.
It's the same thing to me. Like... So I wonder if there is such I'm not saying that every person who's ever rude to me is a Republican, but I have noticed people who, online or whatever, who say, like, they don't deserve $15 an hour because they're uneducated and are going to come into a store like Pretzel Maker or like McDonald's or like Speedway or someplace like that and think of, and, they have this in their head that the people that work there are lower than them because they are not formally educated or they don't have this great job and they don't deserve a living wage, that they're more apt to be rude to them than someone that has
It's like that Tom Merkel says, like, about the whole $15 an hour argument. It says people like that, like, you can't demand a service while simultaneously, like, putting it down.
Yeah. Like,
you are putting down those people. Like, I know people who are working at McDonald's, but like are putting themselves through college with that,
right?
And like going to college, like taking them to like pay their, like are better than me. I make quite a bit of money an hour for to me that is a lot. Yeah. For most people it's not. But like I'm a manager, blah blah, and I'm not going to school, blah blah. But I know people who work for less than that are renting their own houses and, like,
Yeah.
renting their own apartments and, like,
And taking care of, like, kids.
Yeah, and, like, are far more successful than I am, and they work at McDonald's. Like, that's where Josie used to work, has a kid, put herself through college, and now she's, like, working at the hospital and still working at Pretzel Maker. Like,
yeah, and I, like, never in my life have I ever thought, like, I jokingly said, like, people who work at McDonald's. Like, I've always said, like, well, I have no future, I'm going to work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
But
because that's like the classic stereotype of all of us.
I go to McDonald's all the time. I love McDonald's.
McDonald's is a hard-ass job, let me just say, because I've worked there.
Well,
it's a stupid-ass hard job.
To work there too.
Yeah. But what I mean, like, I've never, like, looked at the people that work at McDonald's and been, like pitied them or, like, well, pitied them if they're busy, but you know what I mean. Like, I've never looked at them and been like, oh, they're the scum of the earth. Like, they don't deserve a living wage. Like, they're the worst people. And I think that's like a characteristic of our generation in general, is that we're more caring or more understanding or more compassionate, I guess, about other people. And
it's weird because the conservatives now get really pissed about this politically correct shit. And, like, let me just get this straight. We are not politically correct.
At all.
No.
But I myself understand why people are politically correct. Like, they just don't want people to be offended.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that?
Well, and
like, what is the problem with that? Like, you're trying to...
Like, we're trying to make it, like, a better... Like, they're trying to make it a better world. Like, we're just not politically correct to be funny.
To be funny.
Yeah, we just cross the line too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I think it's weird that the same old conservatives that we're dealing with now were fucking hippies.
Right.
A lot of them were hippies, and they just turned in, like, conservative Republicans and just forgot.
I told her about that because I asked her, like, why do you think that you're still racist today? Because she's not as bad as she was. She's like, well, it was just like the generation that I was raised in, like, which is true. She was raised when black and whites had separate water fountains and all that and everything. So but, like, how long has that been, Grandma? Yeah. And, like, you don't have to be a product of your circumstances.
Right,
like,
and that's such bullshit. Like, when people are like, well, I was just, like, when they're like, I don't agree with homosexuality, I was like...
It's not natural.
Or they're like, that's just the way I was raised. Who gives a shit? I don't care.
Right.
Make your own fucking opinions. No like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what makes me mad is because, like, when people use, which to a certain point you can, but, like, I do not do the same things that I was raised in, and, like, will never. But that you can't use that excuse forever. Like, for a while it was like, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to trust people, blah blah. But you, like, have to ever get anywhere in life, you have to get over that. You cannot use the excuse that that's how I was raised. That's bullshit. Yeah. And that's your excuse. Like, it's dumb. That pisses me.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like, they're like, well, that's just how I was raised. That's just what I know. Like, okay, but, like...
read a book.
Yeah,
change the world. Like,
change who you are.
If you didn't like how you were raised and you didn't agree with that...
Yeah.
Then you would do something about it,
yeah. And I think that... I mean, it has to correlate with just being rude to people in general. Because... you think of people as subservient or whatever, and then when they forget your fucking cream cheese or it's not fucking melted, then you get pissed. And I don't know, it's just... I don't understand it.
Human. They forget that you're human, like, that you make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I always say this, like, they forget, like, you had, like people at McDonald's. It's not like they had 1,000 people who came in that drive-thru before you and got their orders all right. Like, it's not like... Oh, that's fucking annoying.
And it's not, you're not the only... Like, the goal of customer service is to make a person think that they're the most important customer. I understand that. And that the customer's always right, and, all that cheesy-ass bullshit.
Yeah.
But...
They're not.
So, like, I understand that, but in reality... Especially if you've been waiting in this long-ass line, you're already annoyed. That's probably part of it. Yeah. But we've taken, or, if we tell you, like, the bites are in the oven, it's going to be 2 minutes, and we don't give you your order for 2 minutes, we might forget in that time, when we take the next 6 fucking orders, what your sauce was. You know what I mean?
Like, you're annoyed that you have to wait in line. I've been annoyed that I've had to wait in line before, like, but then, in my mind, I think... Yeah, they're probably exhausted running around trying to get orders out as fastly and as accurately as they can. They're gonna mess up. Like,
exactly.
Exhausted.
Yeah. Like, and, like, I can remember, like, what someone ordered for, like,
Sometimes I literally forget a sauce as soon as they're done ordering.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. But, like, I can, like, vaguely remember, like, okay, yeah, she had, cheddar and nacho, like, something like that. Usually I'll go get it as soon as they order. But, I mean, if I don't, and I look at I can, like, I would think that if I were waiting in that line, I would understand with the amount of people and the amount of orders that are going around, the amount of people that are talking, and like all the orders that you've taken. I would understand if they were like, well, what did you have to drink again? You know what I mean? Or like,
and the fact that you see all of us running around like chickens with our heads.
Right.
That's all.
The thing that I hate is when like someone will have ordered like a cheddar and a cream cheese, and it'll be like 5 minutes later, and I'll just get 2 cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
Like, I had a cream cheese. I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, what an easy, like, fix.
Yeah.
And you know, they're like, I had a cream cheese. I paid for a cream cheese. Here's something else that I hate. When people come up and you go in the back to get their cheese, and they're like, I need my cheese. That's just something specific.
How many
to Pretzel
times
Maker.
have you been here?
Yeah.
How many times have you know that this is where we walk back to get the freaking sauces?
Yeah. I don't know. I just hate Republicans. I hate the older generations. I think they're rude. I don't think they care about people. And really, this is a really bad thing for the Republican Party, just in general. I think they're not
keeping up with
people literally like, you know, obviously like some people still vote for them, but I mean like a lot of people share the idea that the Republican Party is out of touch. You know, the Republican Party doesn't care about them. The Republican Party is rude. Like, that's why...
I think within recent, like... I mean, it has always been that way, like, especially when Obama, but, like, I feel like even more so this year.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, holy shit, we hate Republicans.
Yeah, like, and from 2012 on, I think it's been worse.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's gotten worse. And it's such a bad thing for them. Like, it's good for me. Like, I don't care. But I think it's such a bad image for them. It's such a bad image for them to be.
And especially like when I hear somebody's Republican, I automatically think less of them.
Yeah,
I can't help it. I think oh, you're a bad person.
Yeah, but then that's like the same thing that you're rooting. It's just for people to not think that like someone can still be a nice person, a Republican.
Yeah,
right, but I mean, like the values they hold as
exactly.
a Republican makes like
someone who votes to elect a Republican, and this is most Republicans, politicians, whether the voter holds those exact beliefs, they are electing into office someone who is unequivocally anti-gay. Always. There are 2 Republican senators who support gay marriage. And
really,
Rob Portman is one of them. Yeah,
Rob Portman really. Rob Portman's also a scumbag.
Oh yeah, scumbag, scumbag. Who, you know, is pro-life, like who pro-war, like who hates Social Security, food stamps, and welfare.
Yeah, hates any sort of taxes.
Hates taxes. Hates raising the minimum wage. Like who
wants tax cuts for millionaires.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I was gonna say. And at the same time, like cuts the taxes on millionaires and
probably
billionaires,
racist.
and like you know, and probably believes that Barack Obama is an illegitimate president who was born in Kenya, and you know, if a Republican, like, you know, you could be conservative, a conservative thinker or whatever, and be like, you know, I vote for Republicans because I agree with I believe their tax plan or whatever, you know, whatever it is, there could be an issue that you vote for a Republican and you might not agree with them on everything, but you are electing a person who believes these things and who is enacting these things on the country. So then what do you do on
the opposite scale, though? Because what if you only agree with a few things for the Democrat? You're still doing that.
What do you mean?
Because it's in the same sense. Someone can say that for a Democrat. You're saying that like they might not believe in all the things, but they're electing someone who is a Republican. It's the same thing for a Democrat. Like I only might believe in a few of the things, but I don't believe in all other things. Like it's the same exact thing.
Right, but like, yeah, we used to have to explain that all the time because people during the Obama campaign they'd be like, "Well, Obama did this." I'm like, "Well, I don't necessarily agree with Obama in that situation, but I think all of the good things he's done outweighs."
Yeah.
Well,
and it's like
that one bad thing.
People realize too that like. There's never going to be a perfect fucking president.
Right.
Like
Barack Obama's pretty close.
You're never going to, in your opinion, though. Like,
I know.
And that's why I just like wish that people would realize that there's never going to be and it's also like, elect a better like fucking Congress. Like
a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't put a lot of stress on Congress where where work is actually done.
Government literally works. Like
well.
It's just the Republicans must fucking shut up.
Yeah, literally. In response to what you said. For me, at least, I do agree with a majority of the Democrats' beliefs, and in general, when I vote for a Democrat, even if even on like the local ballot, when they don't really do anything, I know someone who aligns himself with the Democratic Party is probably pro-gay, probably anti-war, pro-choice, wants to raise the minimum wage, like believes these
all,
core
like,
beliefs.
better
like,
person.
Yeah, like, and maybe it's the liberal media, maybe it's brainwashing, but you know,
I feel a little brainwashed, but
I
in a
truly
good way.
I truly think that the Democratic Party cares more about people in general than the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And I could be brainwashed.
I think that's legitimate, though. I mean, I think that's what...
We
think all people are equal rather than, Republicans hate that people, feel entitled to things. They don't...
Entitlements, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Fuck Republicans.
Fuck Republicans, watch records.
I'm just a small town boy from Appalachia.